Hello everyone, in this session we will be discussing what is meant by plowing back of profit or return earning or profits. Now let us see what is meant by return earning. Retaining a part of the profit earned in the business and utilizing it in business activities is known as plowing back of profit. Means suppose if you have earned rupees 10 lakh as profit in a particular year, and out of the 10 lakh, if you keep 6 lakh in your business for further business activity or for using any other business purposes, then that amount of money will be known as retained earning or plowing back of profit. That means keeping a part of the profit of business for further business activities is nothing but known as retained earning. Now it is self-financing method of business enterprise. It is one of the methods of internal financing. The retained profit belongs to the shareholders. Usually we know that when a company or when a business earns profit, they are supposed to give dividend to the shareholders, but instead of doing that, what the company or the business does is that they keep a part of the profit as retained earnings. So actually it belongs to the shareholders, but the owners, they don't do that. They don't give dividend. So that is why it is also known as owned capital or owner's equity. The profit earned by the business enterprise should be paid to shareholders as dividend, but the company withholds certain amount of profit as general reserve fund, or retained earning. These are other names of retained earning. This undistributed profit is invested in developmental activities of the company. Now let us see some merits and demerits of retained earning. Let us see some merits of retained earning. For what kind of merit does it give to the company? Now first point is self-dependent. Since they are keeping a part of the profit that they have earned, they don't have to take loan or they don't have to raise further fund from the share market. So it is kind of self-dependence, because the company, they are earning profit because of their hard work, and the hard worked earning that they got, and out of that they are keeping retained earning for further use. So it is kind of self-dependence. They are not depending on anybody else but on their own business. Then next is interest-free financial assistance. Now when you go to any financial bank or to anyone for taking loan, then you have to pay certain amount of interest on that loan. So what businesses does that is they keep retained earning as a reserve and use that amount in future, so they don't have to give interest on that amount of money. So the undistributed profit available to the company is interest free. Means instead of using retained earning, if they would have taken loan from somewhere else, then they had to give interest. Then next is secrecy. Now when a company or when a business uses retained earnings, they are secretly using it. They don't have to show it to any outsiders. But when a company goes for taking loan to any financial institution, they have to make documents and all those rules and regulations. They have to go through some procedure, and eventually they can't keep it as a secret. People will come to know that the business is taking loan from somewhere else, and because of that they might think that the business is not doing good on its own. Okay, so when the company uses retained earnings, it kind of gives an image to the general public that company is financially sound. Then next merit to the company is funds without mortgage. Now for using retained earnings, they don't have to keep any assets as security, but in other forms of borrowing, that means in other form of taking loans, they have to keep their assets as mortgage. Okay, the next is stability in the dividend policy. Now every year, if the company keeps on maintaining giving dividend at the same rate, then it kind of develop a good image of the company. But suppose if in any particular year the company is not doing well and they haven't earned enough profit to give out dividend, then at that time what they can do is that they can use their retained earnings for giving dividend. So it helps the company in developing goodwill. Now let us see some merits for shareholders. Increase in the value of shares. Declaration of dividend at reasonable rates every year due to retained earnings increases the value of the shares. Now when you see that a particular company is giving regular dividend every year to its shareholders, then you will think that that company is doing well. So when a company secretly they use their retained earnings for giving dividend every year, then it increases the value of that particular company's shares. Then next is safe investment. Now shareholders, when they feel that their investment is safe in a particular company, then they would like to invest more. So when a company they use retained earnings for giving their dividend to the shareholders, then shareholders they feel like the company is doing good, it is not in the danger, means the amount that they have invested in the company is safe with the company. Okay, so shareholders whenever in need of funds can dispose of their shares at handsome price. Means when a company has good image in the market, then the shareholders, if they need money, then they can sell their shares to anyone at good amount of price. Then third is emotional pleasure with the growth of the company. Now the growth of the company provides its shareholders the feeling of pride and pleasure because they are the owners of the company. Now when a company is doing good, when it is growing rapidly, then as a shareholder, as a part of the company, you will feel good within yourself. You will have that kind of proudness in telling people that I am associated with that particular company. So it gives emotional pleasure to the shareholders. But there are some demerits of retained earning as well. Now let us see. Misuse of profit. The profit earned by the company belongs to the shareholders, so it should be paid to them. Retaining profit deprives shareholders from their due share, so it is misuse of the profit. Now when company keeps a part of the profit as retained earning, it is depriving their shareholders from the part of their profit, from their part in the profit. Okay, the next is danger of overcapitalization. There is always danger of overcapitalization if the company goes on retaining profit every year. Means if a company keeps on saving money, keep as reserving money from their profit, then ultimately the company will suffer the dangers of overcapitalization. Means they will have more capital than what they need. Then third is misuse of funds and encouragement to speculation. The management can misuse the funds available as undistributed profit. It can sometimes lead to speculation. Means the management, since they have lots of money, lots of funds with them, they can misuse it. Okay. Then next is social wastage. According to socialist thinking, the profit earned should be distributed among shareholders, reduce the gap between have and have nots, and reduce inequality of income. Now when a company keeps on saving money, keeps on saving profit instead of giving it out as dividend, then they are bridging a gap between the people who are rich and people who are poor. So a company should not do that. Socialists, they think that every company should not keep retained earnings. Instead of that, they should give out the dividend of all the shareholders. There should not be inequality between different class of people. Now the policy of plowing back of profit should be framed after due consideration, because both the payment of dividend at competitive rates and making itself financial sound are very important, though both of them are contradictory objectives. Now before deciding that whether a company should keep retained earnings or should they distribute all of their profit as dividend, they should think about all the merits and demerits of the company. The company must adopt balanced approach regarding financing itself through retained earnings. Now there is another type of raising fund, means raising funds through debentures or bonds. Debenture is an instrument issued by the company acknowledging its debt to the holder under its seal. Means suppose we have already discussed what is equity shares. So now debenture is nothing but it is it can be treated as a piece of paper or as an instrument which a company gives it to you, saying that they have taken debt from you. You are their debenture holders, and in that paper you can see seal of the company. Debentures carry interest at certain percent, means debentures, they have fixed rate of interest. As it is a loan taken by the company, it is repaid after certain specified period or at the option of the company as per terms of their issue. Means since debenture, it is treated as debt of the company, the amount that you are going to pay while purchasing debentures from the company, you will get eventually after a particular period of time. There are no legal restrictions on the price for which debentures are issued. Debentures may be issued at par, means suppose if the value of one debenture is 100, then you will have to pay 100. Then if the company issues debentures at discount, that means if the face value of debenture is 100, then the company can issue it at 80, depending upon the discount rate, or at premium, means a company can issue debentures at the value more than its face value. Suppose if the face value is 100 and if a company is issuing debentures at 110, 120, then the extra amount is nothing but premium. Now debenture holders are the creditors of the company. They are equity shareholders, they are owner of the company, but debenture holders are creditors of the company. You have to keep that in mind. They are paid interest on their debentures regularly at fixed rate. It is usual practice to prefix the rate of interest before debentures, that is 12% debentures, means the name of the debentures should have the rate of percentage of interest. Suppose if you have purchased debenture of a particular company and you are receiving 12% of interest on that, then your debentures name will be 12% debentures. It is rule, it is mandatory for all the companies to put rate of interest in front of the name of their debentures. Debenture holders have priority as to their interest and refund of their loan in case of dissolution of the company over shareholders. Means earlier we saw that a company, after earning profit, what they have to do first is they have to give their all expenses, and in that expenses it includes giving interest to the debenture holders. Okay, before preference shareholders and equity shareholders, the debenture holders, they get their money back first at the time of dissolution of the company. Debenture holders are not concerned with the management of the company. They don't interfere in the management of the company or any decision making process. They are not involved in the administration and control of the company. So basically what debenture holders are interested is that they get their interest, or they get their not dividend, they get their interest at time. Okay, a debenture is loan certificate issued by the company to its holders. Means they will give you a piece of paper, and in that, not a piece of paper, it can be said as certificate, and in that they will mention the details of your debentures. The company, instead of borrowing entire fund from an individual, divides the funds into certain small denomination or parts. These parts are known as debentures. Suppose the company wants to borrow 10 lakh as loan by issuing debentures. It may issue debentures of rupees 100 each, and thus they will have 10,000 debentures. Then in case of 1,000 rupees 1,000 debenture, only 1,000 debentures will be required for the loan of 10 lakh. So either they can issue 10,000 share of rupees 100 each, or 1,000 share of rupees 1,000 each. Now there are different types of debentures. Now first is redeemable debentures. First there is redeemable debentures. The amount of the debentures are to be repaid within certain specified period as per the terms of their issue. Means while purchasing debentures, it will be clearly mentioned, or it will be clearly fixed that within 5 years or 10 years, as for example, that the amount that you are lending it to the company, they will repay back you. Okay, suppose if you have purchased 1,000 share of rupees 100 each, that is means 10 lakh rupees that you are giving to the company as debt, and your debenture, and you purchase that debenture for a period of 5 years, then redeemable debentures, if it is, then they have to return that 10 lakh of amount to you within that 5 year. Then irredeemable debentures, these are perpetual debentures. The company has no right to make the payment of the principal of these debentures during its lifetime. Means the debenture holder, they will not get their money back in the lifetime. These debentures are repaid in case of winding up of the company, and if the company is not shut down, then the debenture holders will not get back their money. Then next is bearer debentures. These debentures are transferable by mere delivery. Means the person who holds the certificate, debenture certificate, will be the holder of the debenture in the company. The name of the holder is not registered with the company, and since the name is not mentioned in the certificate who holds the debentures, so the name of the debenture holder is also not registered in the company. The next is registered debentures. These debentures are not transferable by mere delivery. Means in the certificate itself, the holder's name will be there and his name will be registered with the company. Then fifth is naked or unsecured debentures. These debentures are not mortgaged and they are issued without any charge on company's assets. The issue of these debentures is not popular with the companies. Means suppose if you have purchased debenture and the company is not doing well, then you have the right to take back your money from the company. So the company, what they will do is that they will sell off some of their assets and they will repay back you their money. But in case of unsecured debentures or naked debentures, they don't charge anything against company's asset. Means if the company is doomed, then your money is also doomed with it. Then next is secured or mortgage debentures. It is opposite of Roman number 5. Means if these are secured by a charge on company's whole or part of the asset, means even if the company doesn't have sufficient amount to repay back the debenture amount to you, the principal amount to you, then they will sell off some of their asset and they will repay you back. The next is collateral debentures. Debentures may also be issued to banks and financial institutions as an additional or subsidiary security in addition to certain principal security. Lending institutions can exercise their right as debenture holders if the company does not pay loan interest thereon and the principal security falls short. Suppose if you and me, we purchase debentures of a company, then we are debenture holders. But instead of issuing debentures to the general public, if a company issues debentures to financial institutions or banks, at that time those debentures will known as collateral debentures. The next is convertible and or non-convertible debentures. On the basis of convertibility, debentures can be classified. Now let us see. First is fully convertible debentures. Now let us see what is fully convertible debentures. These debentures are converted into equity shares with or without premium as per the terms of issue on the expiry of specified period or periods. Means if the specified period is mentioned or not mentioned, then you can fully convert your debentures into equity shares whenever you want. SEBI guidelines conversion will be optional. Means there are some rules given by SEBI for converting debentures into equity shares. So it's up to your choice whether you want to follow those guidelines or not. If the conversion is to take place at or after 18 months from the date of allotment but before 36 months. Means suppose if you want to convert your debenture into equity after 18 months and or before 36 months of allotting, then you don't have to follow SEBI guidelines. Interest will be payable on these debentures up to the date of conversion. The moment when you convert your debentures into equity, you will not receive any interest. The next, partly convertible. As the name itself suggested, that you cannot wholly convert your debentures into equity, but a part of your debenture will be converted. This may consist of two kinds, namely convertible and non-convertible debentures. The convertible portion is to be converted into equity shares at the expiry of specified period. There will be some period mentioned in the certificate, and after completion of that particular period, some portion of your debentures will be converted into equity. However, Non-convertibility portion is redeemed at the expiry of the stipulated period. Means the other part which you have not converted into debentures will be repaid to you after finishing the or after expiring of the period. If the conversion takes place at or after 18 months, the conversion is optional at the discretion of the debenture holders. Now, if you are planning, if your conversion of debentures is taking place at 18 months or after 18 months, then it is up to you whether you want to convert it or not. Then the last one is non-convertible debentures. As the name itself suggested, then these debentures do not carry the option of conversion into equity shares and are therefore redeemed on the expiry of the specified period. Means you cannot convert this into equity shares, and after finishing a particular period of time, your money, your principal amount will be repaid to you back by the company. Now there is a table mentioning difference between shareholders and debenture holders. Now you go through the table and you will see how equity shares is different from debentures. Now for this session we will wind up here. Thank you.